Yeah, so we know that there have been quite a lot of persistent bugs over the last while. We've been listening to your guys' feedback, and we really kind of took it upon ourselves with update 1.9 to make sure that we did as much as we could and went above and beyond in terms of the amount of bug fixes. We understand that we needed a little bit of a take a step back and have a bit of a health check on the game, kind of make sure that we were in a really, really good place. So one of the first avenues that we took with this was the bug fixes. And in this update and through the patch notes, you will see that we have an extensive list of bug fixes. It's actually probably one of our longest list of bug fixes in quite a while. So we're hoping that this should be a good step in the right direction towards improving a lot of different aspects of the game. So that's the first thing anyway. Next, though, we want to kind of touch on one that has existed in the last couple of weeks, the LeMat bug, as I'm sure everybody is familiar with now. So we've communicated on this. We gave as much detail as we could throughout the course of the last week on this topic, and we tried to explain that we looked through a lot of different avenues when it came to trying to resolve this bug as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, it wasn't an easy one. We had a number of different options. We looked at the possibility of partially removing it or fully removing it. We looked at trying to see if we could actually fix the bug itself that was created with the last update. But ultimately, it turned out that our best course of action was to actually roll back the bug fix that actually caused. The reason for this is that if we had gone down the route of a partial removal, which it would have involved a small bit of downtime, but it actually wouldn't have fully removed it from the game. It would have still been possible to access the weapon through things like quick play, through the recruiter hunters, through legendaries, and through the spawns in game. So we felt that while it could potentially stop at least one aspect of it, it wasn't going to solve the bigger problem. It wasn't going to cause much of a difference because of the other avenues that were available. The full removal involved a lot of removal of the gun from everywhere in the game. So it would have been a very meticulous, time-consuming to get it from every aspect. And we also weren't really 100% certain on the impacts that could have on a number of different systems. It's not something that we've had to do before, so we were a bit unsure if that would be the best course of action. So ultimately, after going through all of this for a couple of days, we did decide to revert the bug fix that caused it, and it was related to the fix for single-shot rifles, that you couldn't reload them after you tried to switch ammo while vaulting or quickly switching the weapons. But some news, the main news on all of this is that with update 1.9, the bugs that ended up coming from this and causing this problem, they're all going to be resolved. So our QA guys were talking to us today about it and advised that the single shot reload issue is going to be resolved. And it's not going to cause the LeMat bug to come back again. And there are some other aspects, some other little bugs that were tied into it as well that should still be fixed with update 1.9. So that's a little update. Well, when I say little, but that's a little update we wanted to give on that. We do appreciate your patience with us during that. We know it was incredibly frustrating. And, any situation like this, we're always going to learn from it to see exactly how we can do better the next time.
Exactly, and just because you mentioned that we have another bug fix or a lot of other bug fixes in this update, we wanted to highlight one very, very important one, which will be a small change to movement, and Rick will explain us how will that exactly work, and trust me, this will have a huge impact.
So we call this player movement changes, but essentially what this relates to are the desync issues that many of you have reported and talked about over the last while. So essentially, we've made two improvements that we're hoping are going to make a big difference to desync. One is a local improvement and the other is a remote improvement. Now, to explain these, a local improvement refers to the improvements relating to your hunter on the client. So what we've done is we've improved the error correction in the game, which should allow for faster and fairer feedback in those instances where desync is going to regularly occur. The overall aim is going to be to reduce the instances of abrupt and unexpected teleports, but it's important to note that bad connectivity, latency, other network interrupts, they may still cause things like this. So it's important to keep in mind it is not going to remove every aspect of it. If there is a network issue somewhere, it could still happen. But the overall aim with this is that from your perspective, it will feel much faster, much fairer with your actions, and it will take into account what you're doing a bit more frequently. With the remote improvements, then these are referred to every other hunter in the match. So the improvements then will be aimed at kind of ensuring the server's entity position is more accurate. So the server registers exactly where the other hunters are in a more accurate fashion. So with this, it should adjust for discrepancies and just overall improve the interactions that you have with enemy hunters. And specifically, this will be effective in instances where hunters can't be revived or looted. And these instances were happening because of the body registering in a different position on the client when compared to the server. So we should see that a lot of difference in that things will be a bit more in line, and you should encounter these issues a hell of a lot less. So we know this has been a big topic within the community, and especially for the last couple of months, we have been listening to you on it. So we did try to do something for this. Your feedback is going to be vital on this, though. So please make sure that you get on once it's on test server, get on test server and try it out, and make sure that we get in decent feedback to make sure that this works the way it's supposed to. So our tests have shown that there's improvements, but really what it comes down to is you guys stressing the hell out of it to make sure that we've done the best we can. And if need be, do more if possible.